Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and it is the icon Johnny K. Welcome to WrestleScope Live. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hello, Lucas. Good to see you as well. NXT 2.0 is in the books, and it was an interesting show. I'm still not quite sure what to think of what they are doing on that show right now. The first two things that come to mind, this entire Joe Gacy, Braun Breaker thing, just how did Joe Gacy suddenly become a top contender for the NXT championship? I don't get it. I just don't get it. How in the world that happened out of the blue? And why are the grizzled young veterans no longer the grizzled young veterans? They are now Gibson and Blake, or Gibson and Drake. I don't understand it. Does that mean now I had predicted that the grizzled young veterans were going to get called up and be a part of Edge's new group. And I still think that would be a great way to go, to bring in another tag team. Because I was thinking about this tonight. Edge and Damian Priest with a tag team with them could be a dark 2022 version of the Four Horsemen. Edge in the Ric Flair role, Damian Priest in that, Barry Windham, Lex Luger kind of role, and then whatever tag team comes in could be the Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. And I really believe the grizzled young veterans could be a good team to be that group. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. I mean, there's still the speculation that Rhea Ripley is going to be part of that group, which I could see happening too. But you need to add a third man into that group before you add Rhea Ripley, in my personal opinion. But back to NXT and this whole thing with Joe Gacy, and I mean, the ending to that show was just weird. It was all about the Hall of Fame ring, Rick Steiner's Hall of Fame ring, and then the shove off of the stage area that Gacy was standing on. And then the Druids, the Undertaker is retired now, so the Druids had nothing to do, so they're for hire, and Joe Gacy bought them. I don't know. And I was excited to see Roxanne Perez get her debut tonight in a good match. I just didn't like the distraction angle from Wendy Chu. I didn't like that. Eric, that's a great question. Are there enough tag teams that they can contend with? At least the Horsemen have the Freebirds and the Von Erichs to feud with. Very true. But if you bring in another tag team, that's the thing, is you need to elevate another tag team or two, not create tag teams, but elevate another tag team or two. WWE can do it. I still believe that Legado del Fantasma will be called up sooner than later, though it appears that Santos Escobar is going to have a feud with Tony D'Angelo, which I just don't like that. He's getting jobbed out too much. the grizzled young veterans are definitely getting jobbed out way too much. But I think if WWE started building up their tag team division, and I really think it can start happening now if they are going to be unifying the main roster tag team belts, there would be teams for their to contend with. All right, let's talk about this. I had the news earlier about WWE wanting FTR back. I do have an update from Fightful Select that AEW did respond to them, and FTR has well over a year left on their contract with AEW. So even if WWE is interested, it would be sometime summer of 2023. And honestly, the way those guys left, I really do not see them going back. But then again, Cody Rhodes went back. So anything is possible, but some heavy, heavy promises would have to be made to a team like FTR. And I don't know. We'll see. Has WWE officially changed Mace's name to face? It was done in a promo that was not seen on TV. It was a dark match. And last I had heard, and I'm going to double check right now, we're going to go to WWE.com and we're going to check. Somebody else had looked yesterday, and Mace was still Mace. But we shall see. All right, we're going to scroll down. Where to see current superstars? Let's see. Yeah, that's the thing. They've got everybody listed. They don't even list them by show anymore. They are just listed in alphabetical order. Raul Mendoza is officially now Cruz del Toro. It's funny. Elias is still on the WWE.com Superstars page, but Ezekiel is not. And we have nothing for face. Let's see. We're going to keep scrolling. Nope. Mace is still. You can see it yourselves, folks. It's right here. Give me a second. Couple of clicks of the screen. And Mace is still Mace. With face paint and everything. So we'll have to see if this changes on Friday night. If LA Knight actually gets his official on-screen main roster call-up. I don't know. We'll have to see. Brian, I don't know. I mean, it was still a decent show. It wasn't the greatest. My expectations of NXT are not that high anymore. Agreed, Eric. FTR is not greedy because, let me see if I can find the tweet. Oh, here it is right here. Drain Bamager posted this one, and I don't remember who initially posted this tweet, but this is correct right here. In 2019, the two, FTR, passed up on what were then huge offers of $850,000 each, with Mark Carrano even mentioning that he could possibly get them to $1 million each before they left for All Elite Wrestling. WWE is unable to approach FTR directly. That was actually from Fightful Select. So right there, you are right, Eric. It is not about the money. Hey, Zip Coon, that's what we're talking about right now. We are talking about that right now. Howling Mad, good to see you. Padres Forever. Where did that come from? Orange Cassidy isn't for everybody. When I initially first saw him in AEW, I didn't understand him. It's not that I didn't like him. I just didn't understand it. Okay. But yeah, I don't think it's about the money for FTR. I think it's about being professional wrestlers, and they weren't allowed to do that once they got called up to the main roster. Plain and simple. Yeah. I don't know. I anything is possible in this day and age. Anything is possible. I never thought Cody Rhodes would go back. Jim Ross has said he believes there would be other AEW talent that could end up going back to WWE. And if anybody would know, it would be him. That one, I don't, at least not in the next couple of years. When Moxley's current contract expires, whenever it may be, he's either going to re-sign with AEW or he is going to go off and do some other stuff. Only way I see him going back to WWE is on some sort of a farewell tour when he's getting close to the end of his career. Because he's another one that was heavily mistreated, did not get to be the character, get to be the guy he wanted to be. The Jon Moxley we are seeing in AEW and GCW and everywhere else he's going is him. That's who he is. And WWE will not allow that to happen. And I can tell you, they would not be building the Blackpool Combat Club right now if Jon Moxley was going to be leaving. I've heard some people say, yeah, it's been 3 years, the whole 2019 thing, that his contract is up. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how long he signed a deal for with AEW, but they would not be pushing Blackpool Combat Club if he was going to be leaving anytime soon. Or they wouldn't be pushing him in that group. Yeah, they made him look like a man out of a dumpster. Absolutely. I actually like Natalya being in NXT because this is her going back and helping elevate younger stars. She's going to go in using her experience, going in as a heel, and build up stars. Cora Jade is going to get the rub from her. Nikita Lyons is going to get the rub from her. I'm perfectly fine with Natalya going back because what else is there for her to do on the main roster? She's not going to challenge for either of the two championships. Obviously, her and Shayna Baszler are no longer a tag team. So if she could go back and help the women of NXT and help build them up, I'm perfectly fine with it. I think it's a good idea. Yes, I agree with you, Padres Forever. Cody is getting a good push because that's what he needed. That was one thing that he needed going back to WWE was a push. Yeah, Patrick, you don't see Moxley leaving AEW. I don't see him leaving in the next couple of years. Never say never. Like I said, it will not happen until he is on like a farewell tour, a retirement tour, before if he would ever go back to WWE. That's my personal opinion. What do you mean he's never used? House of Black, when they're out there, all three of them are out there together. Brody King, Aleister Black, and Buddy Matthews are always out there together. And once they announce the trios titles, we are going to see a lot more of the House of Black. There's only so much they can do right now. That's the one issue with having one person doing all of the booking. That's the one big problem with Tony Khan doing all of the booking is with all the talent you got there, it's kind of hard to utilize all of it. And we see the struggles with a lot of the talent and with the women's division. So the problem is with Dana Brooke is they have changed her character so many times. You know, they've never really given her a solid push. You know, right now with what she's doing with the 24/7 stuff is the biggest push she's ever gotten. Oh, excuse me. No, that's not going to end up happening. That won't end up happening. Both companies are wasting talent. The thing with WWE, though, is they have two different brands between Raw and SmackDown, and one of the shows is 3 hours. You can't tell me they can't make time for some of the talent that they have there. Now, AEW, again, the fault comes down to Tony Khan and that he is booking everything himself. And, you know, he's involved in way too many things. I mean, he owns a soccer team. He owns AEW. He's involved with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's got way too much stuff going on. Tom, yes, I do watch AEW. Juanito, they are going to get Ring of Honor up and running. That still potentially could be the big announcement tomorrow night is that, you know, ROH has a TV deal or ROH has a streaming deal. I don't know. I'm still leaning heavily towards the AEW New Japan Super Show, but it could be a Ring of Honor TV show. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan opens the show tomorrow night, much like he did a few weeks back. You know, he opened up the show with his big announcement. So I could see that happening again. Cody's gimmick is getting over in WWE right now because I think a lot of the people that are cheering him don't realize what he did in AEW. The tag team champions in Ring of Honor, it's FTR. It's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler are the Ring of Honor tag team champions right now. You can see Moxley, Jericho, MJF, Danielson going to WWE. We're going to see a mini feud between Ripley and Liv, and I think Liv is just going to. They've given her chances, and she just has not been able to step up. Or she's going to get thrown into yet another tag team that is not going to go anywhere. Tom's asking, why did Cody Rhodes leave AEW? A lot of it came down to just issues he was having with Tony Khan. And I really believe he's had a chip on his shoulder since he left WWE, and he had something to prove. He has something to prove in WWE. I think that promo he did the night after WrestleMania, there was a lot of truth to that. That he wanted to do what his dad was never able to do, and that's win a WWE championship. His dad wasn't able to do it. His brother wasn't able to do it. He wants to be the Rhodes that ends up doing it. No, they didn't kill his career. They just, again, another talent that was misused. We talk about misusing talent in WWE, but AEW does it as well. They are not immune to this. Yes, I tend to be more positive over AEW than WWE, but seriously, AEW is guilty of it as well. Yeah, that's one of those couples that, you can like one and dislike the other. Yeah, because you heard more MMA fighters want to try their luck at WWE because they look at the paycheck. That's what it comes down to. But they are not going to be used in the proper manner in WWE. No, Shayna Baszler needs to be by herself, and she needs to get a push as a singles wrestler. Unfortunately, I have not seen anything new after what he had posted. If any of you missed it, former WWE star Virgil had announced that he had multiple strokes and he believes he is dealing with the early stages of dementia. It's a terrible story. It's tragic to hear. And that's the last update I saw. I haven't seen anything else. If I do see anything else, I will retweet it. What do I think about Sting and AEW? I like what they're doing with him. I love the fact that at 61 years old, the dude is still wrestling, not full time, and he can go. He can still go. And he has really helped elevate Darby Allin into a legitimate contender for championships. Are you talking Nyla Rose? Nyla Rose and Shayna Baszler in a submission match? Why? Nyla Rose isn't a submission wrestler. Oh, darn well Sasha's going to turn on Naomi at some point in time. It always happens. When is Bayley going to come back? Who the heck knows? Bayley, Alexa Bliss. No, speaking of Bayley, she's on my TV screen right now. I got to get caught up on this WWE heel series. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't follow UFC enough to know who a lot of the stars are outside of the bigger names. Really, ever since Ronda Rousey left, I haven't really paid much attention to it. I've always enjoyed it. I've enjoyed UFC because it's real fighting. I've enjoyed it. It's funny how we're really not even talking about NXT right now, and that's okay. We're going to have a lot to talk about tomorrow. Though I may, let me tell you, I may actually be doing my live early tomorrow, depending on what happens. If I may still do it. Eric, it's funny. I just mentioned that. I've got the Sasha Banks one on right now, which I'm really enjoying. I actually want to watch all these different episodes because I like the presentation of this. I really do. I really like what they're doing with this. I'd like to see more stuff like this. Yeah, unfortunately, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Let's see. What happened? Paul White, the Big Show, is in AEW. Thoughts on Bryan Danielson? I absolutely love Bryan Danielson. He is hands down one of the best wrestlers in the world. He is in the perfect position right now with what he's doing with Blackpool Combat Club. He doesn't have to play babyface. He doesn't have to play heel. He can just be Bryan Danielson. No dumb storylines. Just go out there and out wrestle people and stretch people and beat the crap out of people. That's why I like Blackpool Combat Club. Don't need nothing fancy. Just do it. Yeah, I haven't watched that one. I haven't watched any of the episodes in full yet. So I have to. I have liked what I've seen for the little bits that I have seen on here. NXT did mention MSK because I saw Wes Lee was out tonight, and he changed his hair. I didn't realize that they had mentioned MSK tonight. Here's a prediction. Depending on what they do with Wes Lee over the next few months, I could see in 6 months' time, Wes Lee is out there, and he's getting kind of a babyface reaction. He's in a feud with somebody, I don't know who, and he's getting beaten down by a tag team. And all of a sudden, the MSK music hits, and without an announcement, Nash Carter comes running back out. In 6 months' time, Nash Carter will be back in NXT. Just saying. I've always been kind of back and forth on Sasha Banks. I hated her character in NXT, but it was that, man, she's really a heel kind of hate. It's not the Charlotte Flair hate that I have. I mean, I appreciate everything she does in the ring. There was a point in time, I forget what it was on the main roster, that just drove me nuts. I can't recall what it was, but I've always appreciated her attitude. Definitely appreciated her attitude. I think it's going to be soon. I've said it before. I think he's going to be the one to take the TNT Championship away from Sammy Guevara. What do you mean he can't do that? No, Nash Carter could come back if WWE re-signs him. That's what I'm saying. WWE will re-sign him in 6 months. Absolutely not. I will not watch a second of that because I can't stand either of them. I don't watch any of the wrestling reality shows. None of them. Roads to the Top, didn't watch it. Total Divas, absolutely not. Ms. and Mrs., nope, no interest. I will not watch wrestling reality shows. Now, wrestling documentaries, yes. Reality shows, no. Hard to say. Really hard to say which roster is better. Well, for one, I'm trying to think. Let me see if they. Yeah, I don't think they have. They don't have the roster. They used to have it where each show's roster was separated on the website, but they don't do that anymore. They've got everybody listed together. Main roster, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK. They've got everybody listed all together as a big hodgepodge. So, I can't even, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say which show has the better roster. Oh, Lucas, I feel bad for you. No, I'd get rid of Carmella before I'd get rid of Dana Brooke. Exactly, Eric. They all suck. They all suck. Yeah. The only reason they create wrestling reality shows is to do something for the female viewers. The female demographic absolutely love reality shows, whereas the male demographic, we love the dark side of the ring type things. We like WWE Evil, and shows like that. We love stuff like that. If it's not the regular wrestling shows, the female fans want more of the reality type shows. They get into that kind of stuff. So, all right. We have now hit 10 o'clock Central Time. I am going to get going for the night. Did you guys get a chance to see my news video on YouTube earlier today, where I talked about the WWE being interested in FTR? Would you like to see more of that kind of stuff on the channel? I'm working on the logistics of those things, because I want to create a little bit of a better format for it. I had a little bit of time here. I decided to throw something on here, not going live. I want to do a few more short form recorded things. I would like to do like short form daily news stuff on here if possible. What happened to Impact Wrestling? Impact Wrestling is still around. You can watch it on Access TV. You can watch it on Fight TV. You can also watch it on YouTube. They do have a great YouTube channel. I'm not shocked that it's still on Peacock, because it's all about the money. It's all about the views and the money for WWE. No, he is not. Gunther will never hold a main roster. Well, at least the world titles. He will not hold a main roster world title. Well, Access TV would be available, Tom. It would be available on your cable. You can obviously get YouTube. You can definitely get YouTube, and Fight TV. You can get it on the internet. So you just got to know how to look for it. Plain and simple. And thank you for checking in from Huron, South Dakota. All right. I am going to head out, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in for this short episode tonight. Still went a half an hour, though. As always, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button. We still have our goals. I'm not really talking about them right now, because the goal that I had for April 25th, we're not going to come close to. And that's okay, because I'm going to be setting a new one. I'm going to announce a new one on Monday. We'll be talking about that on Monday. But yeah, please just like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you want to catch up on all my other social media, best thing to do is click on the link tree. It is in my bio, wherever you may be watching this right now. And it's got all my different social media listed wherever I may be. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been day number 49. Tomorrow is the big 5-0, 50 days in a row tomorrow of live broadcasts on this channel. We're on our way to, I don't know how many. We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going until, I don't know. I should do a sleep. Yeah, that one wouldn't go over well with my wife. The only way I could do it is if I sat here, and I don't want you guys to hear me snoring. Okay. Though you never know, that actually could end up being one of the more popular videos I ever put up here, or popular live streams I ever put up on this channel. Who knows? All right. I may or may not be back with a live early tomorrow. And if any news breaks, I will try jumping in with some news videos on YouTube and Facebook. But thank you very much for tuning in. If nothing else, I will do a show immediately following AEW. Yes, I will be watching AEW. I will not be doing a watch along because tomorrow is my second to last Wednesday night where I have to be at church. So I will be working hard to catch the first hour. I will be home for the last 40 minutes or so of Dynamite. May do a watch along for the last 40 minutes. We'll see. Lucas, you're getting way too many ideas, buddy. All right, I'm out of here, folks. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you tomorrow for day number 50.